So it looks like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake has been delayed indefinitely amid a studio shakeup. In a recent Bloomberg article by Jason Schreier, he mentions how 2 of the lead staff members for the game have been fired. In today's EcksToo video, we're going to be looking at what exactly happened, why it happened, and why this isn't the first time this has happened on the KOTOR Remake project. And finally talking about, will this game ever be made? Some good news, some bad news, but with that out the way, let's dive right into the video. So just a couple of hours ago, Jason Schreier drops a tweet stating, "The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is indefinitely delayed." Developer Aspyr abruptly fired 2 directors this month and told staff that the project is on pause as it tries to figure out what's to come next. The article goes into a bit more detail, talking about how Aspyr has been working on this project for about 3 years now, and on June 30th, Aspyr finally finalized a demo of the game to show their production partners Lucasfilm Games and Sony. Jason's article continues by saying that the developers were excited about showing off this demo, and that they genuinely felt they were on track to get this game ready for its initial release date, which wasn't given out to the public yet. With the article stating the developers were excited about it and they felt they were on track, according to a person familiar with the project. So they were shocked by what happened next. The following week, the company fired design director Brad Prince and art director Jason Miner, and neither responded to requests for comment. But Jason Miner did suggest on social media that his dismissal was unexpected. The reasons for the firings is that Aspyr studio heads told staff that the demo wasn't where they wanted it to be, and for this the project would be paused, with one insider stating that a disproportionate amount of time and money had gone into this demo, and it seems like the outcome was unsatisfactory for the company Aspyr as well as the producers Lucasfilm Games and Sony, and it looks like Aspyr is taking actions to the feedback that the producers gave. The article doesn't mention that, they specifically only mention Aspyr taking action on all of this, but because all of these actions only happened a week after the demo was revealed to Sony and Lucasfilm, it only makes sense that these 2 producers told the studio heads at Aspyr that they need to do some shakeups in the company. But it seems like it isn't just about the time and money that went into this demo that didn't end up being that good. There might be another point of contention with the timeline on when these producers want the game to be released. At the outset of development, Aspyr told staff and its partners it would release the game by the end of 2022, at least according to 2 people that were familiar with the production of it. But this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because it seems to contradict the contract that is still in effect between EA and Star Wars, where they have full licensing rights on all Star Wars games up until 2023. So I'm assuming what they mean here in this article that the game would go gold at the end of 2022 and release in 2023. But if I am wrong and they were wanting to release this game in 2022, then there could have been some sort of exception made with EA, Lucasfilm Games, and Aspyr, especially when Sony's involved with their next-gen console. I'm sure there was some wriggle room there. But regardless of that, now 2 directors have been fired. Developers are saying a more realistic target for this game is now 2025. Many people were thinking this game wasn't going to be released until the end of 2023 or 2024 anyway. Hearing a 2022 release date is news to me and probably for many people watching this video. So whilst this does sound like devastating news, it looks like the setbacks are kind of reasonable in my mind. At the end of Jason's article, there is a little bit of hope and good news for the project, with the article stating the fate of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake remains unclear. In May, Embracer announced that Saber Interactive would also join the project. Some developers at Aspyr believe that Saber, which has mainly been doing outsourcing work for the project, may take it over completely. And this is actually true, as Embracer Group board member Matthew Karch stated, "Aspyr has gone full in to make the best game they can make. When we acquired Aspyr, we knew from the start they would require our assistance, and Saber has tremendous expertise in creating these type of products." Now, Matthew might actually be referring to Aspyr's track record in game development, as the company has only really been known for their Switch ports for Star Wars Republic Commando, Star Wars Racers, Star Wars Force Unleashed, and of course both KOTOR games. So it does appear to be that this is their first debut in AAA game development. And the collaboration with Saber Interactive makes sense, as if you look at their games catalogue, you can see they have a good amount of experience in games that have a higher level of graphics, as well as products geared towards next gen, which KOTOR Remake was attempting to do by being a next gen only game. So whilst we're only speculating and throwing out theories here, it does look like Aspyr just wasn't geared up to do this type of game, and thus the demo was probably underwhelming for their producers. Not only that, there has also been another person that has left the project in the same manner as these two art directors for the KOTOR Remake. KOTOR Remake writer Sam Maggs also left the project after she came under fire for some takes that some might have found controversial. And this wasn't too long ago either, only being in March of this year. And after voicing her experiences and decision making in writing the game, she ultimately finished her thread by stating, "I left the studio ultimately because of creative differences with leadership." To summarize what's happening, I wouldn't expect Aspyr to continue developing this project going forward. As the article does state, in a series of meetings throughout July, Aspyr's two studio heads told employees that the project is on pause and that the company will look for new contracts and development opportunities. This is pretty much business talk that they're going to look at making different products. And it looks like whatever has been built for the KOTOR Remake will either be trashed or handed over to Saber Entertainment. And whilst Saber Entertainment isn't exactly a big developer themselves, their back catalogue shows a lot more promise with what they can do. But I think some of the worst news about this project dates back to late 2021, where former BioWare developers who actually developed the original KOTOR games made a proposal to Lucasfilm to remake both games. Under the company name Beamdog, they went as far as showing some of their initial pitch presentation slides on why they should be hired to develop the remake, only then realizing that Aspyr had already beat them to it. We know this thanks to a tweet from Trent Oster, who actually published all of this content I just mentioned. But honestly, I think Aspyr might have beaten them to it by years rather than months. It definitely looks like Lucasfilm gave this company jobs to port older games to the Nintendo Switch, just to test the field on whether or not they would be capable of making a KOTOR remake, which it looked like they did initially. But due to possibly inexperience in the company when it comes to developing AAA games, it looks like it's going to be passed off to somebody else instead. But this is where I pass the question over to you guys. What do you think about this entire mess revolving the KOTOR remake? And did you yourself know that this game was actually going to be released at the end of this year? Because according to the article, it looks like it was going to aim for that. And what do you think about the new release date, which is probably looking to be 2025? Whilst this is of course insider speculation, let me know your thoughts on this, because personally for me, I didn't think this game was going to be coming out until 2024. So to hear the game had a hefty delay from 2022 to 2025, it doesn't sound so bad to me, because it doesn't really change what I was expecting anyway. But that's my thoughts and opinions. I'm passing it off to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. I read all of them, and I'll try to get back to some of you as well. But besides that guys, I have been Charlie, you've been watching EcksToo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care guys.